What's up, guys? So I'm doing some rust repair on my E30 today. Well, the past few days. This has been a huge project that I didn't expect it to be. I had a pretty good sized rot hole underneath the driver's seat right behind it. Took the carpet out, took the interior pieces out, all the AC ducting and everything, pretty much stripped the whole car. And as I was doing that, I found more and more rust and just rot holes and just disgusting trash. So it's kind of a nightmare. And where I'm at right now is about right here. So as you can see, yeah, this is the main hole that I was talking about. Look at that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, it was just chipping away, just crumbling under my hands as I tried to break it apart, which was very easy. And so up front here, we got pretty much the same deal. It wasn't as bad, but a lot of it too, so got a lot of it cut out now. I need to do a little bit more, grind away, see what's surface rust and what's all the way through. And yeah, pretty much I'm just gonna finish grinding away this little corner here, see what I can out of this. It's not all the way clean yet, this little piece. I'm gonna cut out a piece of this over here, which is an old lawnmower hood. And yeah, it's a little bit rusty itself, but as you can see, I grind it down a little bit and it's pretty much only surface rust. Even over here, or over here, it's down to bare metal. Over here, it's pretty decent. So hopefully that'll be good for me to work with, and hopefully it'll be large enough to cover all of the holes that I need to patch. So I'm going to try to get everything done, get it ground out, get a piece cut out, and get it welded in today. And hopefully the front section over here will be all ground out and all the rust removed, be ready to start welding in before the end of the day. So I'll check back with you guys in a little bit. Quick little update on what I was just saying. The shitty part about this is, if you can see that, there's a brake line, or actually that's a gas return line, and there's all my brake lines and gas lines right there, right underneath where all the rust is, where I need to cut out and grind and weld and everything. So I just kind of tied them up with a wire to the jack that I have it propped up on right now, so I can pull them out of the way. And that's making this a lot more difficult, but I guess you could say it makes it a lot more interesting and fun. So yeah, there's a couple more little deals here, a couple more of those looking holes in the back seat, but that's my least of my concerns right now, as you can see. Also, I had to remove my gas pedal because, as you can see, well, this bracket right here, which is where the gas pedal was connected to, is in the middle of the biggest main rust spot on the floor pan. And so I just kind of spray paint here and there to make like an XY axis to the center of the bracket, and I'm just going to cut it out, try to remake it as best I can. And I got another gas pedal on order because it was broken anyway. Well, what I've done is I kind of cut out a template of that main piece with the cardboard. You can see it right there. What I did was I took the cardboard. Here's the piece that I cut out. Basically, I just kind of went under the car, put my one hand under the car, and did like this. Well, it's backwards, but yeah, I put the whole thing under the car like that. Spray painted over the border of it, and then cut it out roughly with the angle grinder. It doesn't need to be perfect because I'm just gonna weld over it. I'm not gonna try to fit it up perfectly because it's really like jagged. So that's what I got right now. What I'm gonna do next is do the same thing, just spray paint the outline onto the hood here. And it's okay because I got to clean it up anyway, and I also got to clean up in the car, so the spray paint's not going to hurt anything. I still have to clean it up before I weld it. So that's how I'm going to make the templates for everything. I'm just going to put the cardboard underneath, spray paint the outline, cut it out, spray paint on the metal, cut it out, clean it up and weld it. So getting a little bit closer. I still got a lot to do, but I think I might reach my goal of having that main piece welded in tonight. So I'm going to get back to it. So now that I got that done, I'm just going to add a quick note. This is really rough, so I'm just going to cut a little bit outside of my line that I made, you know, maybe like a 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch outside of it all the way around. And that's going to give me a little bit of room just in case I messed up a little bit or it was a little bit off. It's going to give me a little bit of room to play with, and you know, I can always grind off a little bit more if it's in the way of something. So that's going to make it so I don't have to cut it twice, you know what I mean? So I'm going to get this cut out, hopefully get it cleaned up and start tacking it up, boy. This is starting to suck again, but I got it cut out, mounted in, no, not mounted, but you know, kind of roughly fit in, you know, whoops. But yeah, so I got the edges grounded down, most of them. Probably not going to grind the whole thing to bare metal because that's a waste of grinding wheels, and I just need to grind the edge. I'm just going to probably wire wheel the paint off and repaint it all the same, but I ran out of cutting wheels, so now I'm cutting with grinding discs. Hell yeah. But yeah, I'm sweating my balls off. It's hot. I'm in Florida. It's the middle of August, and I'm out here grinding, and literally I'm out here grinding. But yeah, I'm gonna finish grinding out the edges, make sure it's all cleaned up. I'm gonna hammer it in a little bit more, kind of form it to the floor pan, and then I'm gonna start tacking. So it's the next day. Didn't get everything done like I wanted to for last night, but it's okay because we're gonna keep going. I got some goodies from Harbor Freight. We got here, it's called an air nibbler. It's basically like a jigsaw in the way that you can cut weird shapes out with it. This is gonna come in really handy for me. I got some new cutoff wheels, so I don't have to cut with the fucking grinder wheels, the more grinding wheels. I got these for my die grinder, so I can just kind of grind out the little crannies and stuff to get the rest of the rust out. Got this nice wire wheel, so a wire cup. So hopefully this makes everything a lot easier. Oh, and I got some freeze off because I still have some sound deadening to get out. And instead of using dry ice, I'm just going to spray this onto the sound deadening and hit it with a hammer. Hopefully it all crumbles off very cleanly. So let's get back into it. Cleaned up the main piece that's going into the car, and here it is right here. All the paint's cleaned off, all the edges are nice and ground down, looking pretty good. Kind of looks like Texas, but starting to do the same thing in the car, make sure everything's all nice and clean, bare metal all the way around it. Give myself a couple of inches of room so it doesn't burn through any paint, start fire right by my gas lines. So getting ready to do that, and then I'll be tacking it in, getting it welded up. Real close. Got it nice and shiny all the way around, and starting to grind away. I guess it'd be like undercoating underneath the car. Not sure if it's flammable or not, but I'm not trying to take any chances blowing up myself and the car, or catching anything on fire, and you know. Well guys, I'm pissed. I was grinding under the car, getting all the undercoating off, and I look up at the sky, like, well, I might as well start putting everything up because it's going to start raining or sprinkling or something soon. As soon as I say that and start putting everything in the car, by the way, it's convertible if you haven't noticed, it just starts downpouring immediately. There's no sprinkle lead into it, just immediate downpour. So of course, my grinding disc, cutoff wheels got wet, fucking welders in the car. I managed to put the top up fast enough to where it didn't really get soaked, but I got a lot of water in the car. Not a lot, but you know, it was raining for a good 15-20 seconds in the car with the top down. So I'm probably gonna have to change out my wire now in the welder. Hopefully it doesn't rust in one day. I don't think that's gonna happen, but who knows. So I guess we're just gonna continue this project tomorrow. It's about to get dark in probably an hour and a half anyway, so even if it stops raining, it's not gonna dry up fast enough before it gets dark. So here we go again with the bullshit. See you guys tomorrow. Aftermath of the rain, yeah. Hasn't even been 24 hours. And we got all this going on. So what's up? Here we go again. So got a little bit of it tacked up, pretty much secured. Just gotta finish doing all the corner, all the rest of the border of it. I don't think I'm gonna do beads around the whole thing. I thought I was, but it's just too thin. It's gonna end up burning through, and I really don't want to get it that hot to where it might burn the rest of the undercoating off. I got about that much of it ground off all the way around, but I don't know if that's going to be enough, and I don't want to take off like a whole 6 inches all the way around, because so it's terrible grinding it. It just, you breathe in all the dust. I don't have a respirator, and it's a bad situation. So I'm just going to tack it up at every, you know, 1.5 to 2 inches or so, and smear some Bondo over it or something. But I'm going to get back to tacking it up. Guys, I'm getting real close to getting this thing all the way welded in. I'm tacking in some places and filling in beads in some places because of how much of a gap there was, and I don't want it to just be a ton of body filler, or I might use Flex Seal actually, or whatever fills the gap. I don't just want it to be a bunch of that. I want it to be mainly metal. So here's what we're looking at so far. Looks like shit. I know this is probably one of the best ones I've done. But yeah, it looks really bad. I got another big gap right here. I got to cut a little piece of metal out of that, or for that. I don't know if I'm going to fill this in with weld, or if I'm going to try to do a little piece for that as well. But those are mainly the only big gaps, other than being too high and just having to weld a big slope into it, you know what I mean? So I got to fill this a little bit in there. I keep dripping sweat on the thing and it's sizzling. But here's a decent little one right there. I'm using a flux core Harbor Freight welder. So it's not the best, but I'm just gonna end up grinding it all down. I'm not trying to look at beads. Plus this is, the seat obviously goes here, and it's gonna cover up, you know, you're probably only gonna see this part right here. But that's what I got for right now. I'm gonna do maybe another couple of beads here where the biggest gaps are. You know, a few tacks here and there. Pretty much almost done. And then I'm going to grind it all smooth. Spray some Flex Seal on it all around the edges. And that's going to be that. Alright guys, so I'm pretty happy. I just pretty much got everything finished up. It's all welded in. I grinded down the edges and makes it look kind of smooth. And once I sprayed the sealant on it, it looks almost seamless. So what I used was this right here, Flex Seal. It's like 10 bucks I think at Walmart. So everything that I've used is like as cheap as possible. I think I only spent like maybe 30 bucks on everything, including like extra tools like grinding wheels and stuff that I didn't have. So here's what we got. I still have this little thing in the corner right here. I got to cut out another piece of metal and just tack it up there and seal it up. But it looks pretty good to me. Still gonna take all the paint off the rest of the interior and paint everything one color. So I'm pretty satisfied. Hope you guys liked the video. I still have the front panels to do, but it's gonna be the same thing, just cut, tack, weld, grind, you know, same situation that I've done here. So this is my cheap fix for my E30 rust floor pan, and I hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. I learned throughout the whole process. So you guys have any questions, just leave a comment, like, subscribe, and you guys have a good day.